Okay, this is what you've been waiting for, chapter 2.6. We're finally getting to divide by two-digit numbers. This is actual long division. All right, and some of you guys have worked on this before. I know that you did it in 4th grade. You might have hated it, you might have loved it, I'm not sure what, but we're gonna work on some of these right now. How do you do it? All right, first of all, I want you to think about estimating. Estimate is something that will help you get started, so you may want to always start with an estimate. For instance, I'm going to write down 53 goes into 2,340, and kind of in your head or on the side of your paper you're going to think, well, 50 goes into 20. 5 goes into 20. So 50 would go into 2,000. 50 doesn't go into 20, but it goes into 200. So 5 times 4 is kind of what we're looking at. So 40 times 50 is 2,000. So we're going to use this estimate to kind of help us to get started. We're going to put a 4 up here. 4 is the number that we used over here, and we should put it up here. We probably should put it in the right place. Again, I tried to put it in the wrong place. I did that on our last lesson too. I think that might be a habit that you make too. You have to remember that when there's two digits, 53 does not go into 23 evenly. It doesn't go in completely because 23 is smaller than 53. So you have to move down here to this place. This is the... So we're going to put our 4 here. And then remember, when you multiply, it's just 4 times 53, and you write your answer down here. And you have to kind of do some gymnastics here because we're going to actually multiply by 53 and we're going to do it sideways. So first of all, think 4 times 3, and that's 12. Carry the 1. See, it's 4 times 3 is 12. Here's your 1 and here's your 2. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 1 is 22. And then we have to subtract and find out how we did. 4 take away 2 is 2. 3 take away 2 is 1. 2 take away 2 is 0. So we have 12 left over. That's smaller than 53. So we did a good job. It could have been that we had gotten something that was bigger than 234, and that wouldn't have worked. We would have had to change our 4 to a 3. Sometimes you have to test it out with long division and then make a change. We're going to bring down this 0. So now it's 53 into 120. And again, you can kind of estimate how many times would 5 go into 12. Well, 5 would go into 12 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 5 is 10. We didn't have any 1s to carry. This was from the previous section. So 2 times 53 is 106. I can't carry, I can't borrow, I can't subtract, so I have to borrow. 10 minus 6 is 4. 1 minus 0 is 1. So 14 is my remainder. Remainder 14. And that works out pretty well. Let's do 1 or 2 more, just so you can kind of get the idea of what's happening. Sometimes they write it differently. They might write it like this: 2292, 2,292 divided by 19. And you want to rewrite that as 19 goes into 2,292. And then you have to estimate. I want you to estimate every time. Kind of round that up to 20. And what does 20 go into? Well, 2 goes into 22. 2 would go into 22. That might work. We could actually try that. 2 goes into 22 11 times. So we could just change this to 11. 11 times 20. 11 times 2 is 22, with 1 0 left over. So 110. That's kind of complicated. I would guess that maybe that's it would have been easier just to change that to 2,000. 11 times 2, 110 times 20. 2 times 11 is 22, and you have 2 zeros left. These 2 zeros. 2 times 11 is 22 with the 2 zeros left, so 2,200. That works, but it took us a little bit of extra thought, and the estimation is supposed to be quick. Well, we're going to go once into here. This is actually kind of a nice one because we know what 1 times 19 is. We're going to just go ahead and put it in. I forgot to change colors. I like to change colors when I'm doing the next step so you can kind of see what's happening. Subtract 22, take away 19 is 3. Bring down your 9. We could change colors again just for fun. How many times does 19 go into 39? Again, we might do 20 into 40. That would be 2 times. Using some estimation. 2 times 9 is 18. Looks like it's going to work because 8 is smaller than 9. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. 38. If we had used a 1, we would have had too many left over. So we needed to use a 2. Okay? Subtract, that leaves 1. That leaves 1. And we'll have to bring down our 2. Now here's an interesting thing. Does 19 go into 12? No. And so 0 times 19 is 19, or 0, subtract, you get 12, and 12 ends up being just your remainder. If you have something at the end that's too small for your divisor, you end up with a 0 and having a remainder of that 12. The 12 is smaller than 19, so it can be a remainder. I guess we probably should try just one more problem, just for fun. 21 into 1098. Alright, so 2, this is a pretty easy estimate also. 2 goes into 10. Okay, so we're going to just go 20 into 10,000. And that's going to be 5. 5 times 20 is 100. Add our 0. 50 times 20 is 1,000. So we're going to just start with the 5. Right here. I should change that color. 5. 5 times 1, got to start with the ones place, is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. That worked out because 109 is larger than 105. 9 take away 5 is 4. Bring down the 8, 48. 21 goes into 48. Well, 20 goes into 40 twice. 20 times 3 is 60. So we can really only use 2 twice instead of 3 times. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. That leaves us with 8 take away 2 is 6. 6 ends up being our remainder. So 52, remainder 6, is the answer to the problem. And if you do all of them this way, if you start by estimating, you'll have a better idea of how to get started on this problem. We estimated the answer was 50. What we got was 52, remainder 6. So we did a pretty good job there. All right, hopefully this one was quick and easy to understand. Here we go.